So you were able to open that file with the data.
Well, it really wouldn't matter because it just is a bunch. It really doesn't make sense because there's like every state. So
Yeah, but is that file that you have there on the screen on the right side, what is that, Excel, or is that something like Excel?
it's just like pages, but it's a CSV file.
Right,
Or
but is Pages is like Excel or like Google Docs.
it's kind of like
So,
Google Docs.
uh-huh. So, and what are the states that you, so how does this go here? The first column has the timestamp, and these are going from January 21st
Yeah.
through, so that file has 3,000, like almost 3,100 rows.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so the last date, the last time,
Was
so the steps are in time steps of 1 day. So those are the time units here, days, right?
right.
And so you begin at January 21st, and then the last measurement was April
27th.
27th. So that's all of February, all of March, and almost all of April. So that should be like 90 something points per location. Right? So what are the states that you are going to work with?
How many do I need to do?
This is where you guys, maybe you guys are a little confused here because the instructions are vague, but you also have the freedom. So choose a couple of states. I don't want everybody to be in exactly the same states. So otherwise I would have said everybody's gonna do Washington, you know. So if your classmate is choosing one state, you could have some in common, but you should also have some that are not common. But let's say this would be very similar, you know, if you're working with states and there is another resolution per county, right? And that's like in Tennessee, there is like 95 counties. But let's say that you choose, I don't know, 3 states, but what would be some of the states you would choose based on
I guess
maybe you know somebody in that state or something
Illinois,
like that?
Arizona, I guess.
What?
Let's do Arizona, Illinois, and Massachusetts.
Well, let's start with Arizona, okay? So you're gonna have to, do you have Excel or do you have
I do.
something similar?
I don't know how to get this on Excel.
But you do have Excel or yeah, it's opening. You need to know in which folder of your computer you have that CSV file.
I do.
Okay, so go to Excel and choose open. Um, yeah, and now find the CSV file. Okay, now in Excel, you should save as and maybe call this my 3 states or something like that.
All right.
So maybe here, if you're doing 3 states, you can create, this is the full data set, so leave that alone, but create 3 tabs right here and name each tab the name of the state. Like one tab would be called Arizona, right?
Hold on. How do I get it from here to there?
Yeah. This can be done in two ways. One way is doing it with R, but you would have you have to write some code to walk through the data. And I think the other way, as painful as it sounds, is that you just do it manually. So you choose, and you don't really need if we were saying that 3 months is about 90. If you have daily points and you think that each month has 30 days, 3 months is about 90 days, But not every location is going to have 90 points, because you can see the first few days there, you don't have all states. In January, you have Washington, but then, well, by the end of January, you have maybe Washington, Arizona, California, Illinois. But February 1st, so like you don't really need, even if you did have, for Washington, it's probably the state that is in all days reported here. So Washington may have 90 measurements, but you don't need the 90 measurements. You need, that's another thing that you decide. So here is time, and time will be in days, right? Those are the units. And here is the number of cases, right? So how many days? You decide. I mean, you start, what is this, January? I don't know. You could have just maybe 1 month or 2 months. Well, January is really not January, because you're starting kind of at the end of January, right? So you can have all those days at the end of January, and then certainly February and maybe part of March, So how many points? So you can decide, is it 20 or 35 or 40, well, maybe 45, measurements. So you start doing it by copying the rows for the state that you selected for as many days that you want.
So I'm just gonna have to like do individual rows down the line and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Right, manually. You may have errors, but that's okay. I mean, you may have, you will skip or something. But so right now, you're not doing Washington. Where is
Arizona's first.
Where is Arizona? Yeah.
Wait.
So this is painful, but hey, guys, this is what it is when you use data. That's so you know how to select multiple rows at once?
Nope. Why did it do that?
Yeah. Give me a second. I'm opening my Excel, and because I have a Mac too. In Windows, a little different, but you could select 3 or 4 rows. If they're one below each other, it's easy, but let's say what you're just doing is you have like 4 columns. No.
You should be able to sort and filter these by state and then date. Yeah.
Okay.
If you do a custom sort, you have to have the data selected though.
It is selected, isn't it, over here?
Yeah. So first sort should be by not values, or sort by state. And then if you add another sort and sort by date, it should organize them.
By date. Oh wait.
Click column.
Oh, see, you guys, I don't know how to do this, and there you go. So now you have, this should be a piece of cake.
I selected the states and then copied and pasted the day, deaths, and case count.
Right, but with what you just did there, you now have the same state, all the measurements for that state, they're all group, right? So
yes.
Now it's easy to select the chunk that's for your state. So for example, what is Arizona? Line what? 40 something, there it is. 140 something. So Steven, you can just now highlight all the measurements for Arizona and copy that and paste that into your Arizona tab.